Hey there, everyone. Welcome to the live stream here on Helena Wood's Astrology. Welcome to the live stream. We're going to be talking about astrocartography today. And are you living in the wrong place? Are you living in a place that's not right? That's wrong. We're going to be talking about that in today's episode. I'm so excited to go into this because this is something I've been hearing a lot of from my clients. And we're going to start going into this in a second. I just want to make sure that my sound is working. Or is anyone out there watching and can hear my sound? Because I just did this live stream again. This is the second time. Sounds great. Excellent, honey. Thank you so much. So we're back. Now we know how to turn on the audio on my desktop computer. By the way, how do you guys like this setup? I think I'm going to start recording all of my future videos here. Very excited to have a proper setup, lights, mic, desktop computer, all of the things. Very excited for this new environment for posting astrology videos. Now, the question of, am I living in the wrong place? This is something that I hear so often from my clients. My clients come to me and ask this question, like, am I living in the wrong place? In fact, one of the things I've been noticing in the last week has been people coming into my sessions nervous. They're nervous if I'm going to tell them something they don't want to hear, like, you're living in the wrong place, you're living in an awful place, etc. And something I want you to know is that when I first got into astrocartography, my first client sessions, I remember hearing from my clients that they had worked with other astrocartographers who were very well known. And these astrocartographers would tell them, you're living in the worst place. You're living in the most awful place. You can't live here. Everything in your life will go to crap if you live here. I've had clients tell me that they've booked with astrocartographers who've told them things like this. And this led me to get really passionate about this work, about locational astrology, because what I've learned in my years of doing this, living this, breathing this, sleeping this, my 2,500 clients that I've worked with, is that you can't mess this life up. You can't get this life wrong. You wanting, desiring, choosing to live in a part of the world is because you're meant to be there. There is no fear here. There is no, you are living in the worst place. You're living in the wrong place. Your life is going to go, that whole idea of you can mess your life up if you're in the wrong place. I don't believe in that. I don't at all agree with that. And I've seen with my clients, when I look at their astrocartography and I look at their zodiacal releasing and I look at their transits, people are meant to go to certain places at certain times to unlock an aspect within their birth chart, to unlock an aspect within their natal promise. The natal promise is an idea. I didn't come up with that name. It's an idea that I've been shared by many, many astrologers, but it's the idea that there's a promise baked into your birth chart, that there is something that will happen, something that will manifest based on the planets and where they're positioned in your birth chart. So the planetary condition, the house, all of that. These planets in your chart, they tell stories. They tell stories of what is going to happen at some point in your life. And then the key is to know when. And this is how we use transits and progressions, is we can see when a story is being unlocked. And that's something that I use a lot of with cyclocartography and timing your travels. Great to see you all here in the comments. Hello, Jennifer. Hey, Hope. And so when we're talking about place, there's also the timing aspect of it. Cyclocartography, which is a combination of transits and progressions. And we use these transits and progressions on our maps to see what parts of the world are getting activated. Now, there's a lot of ways you could do this. You don't have to just use cyclocartography on your map, which I use SolarFire for this. And if you ever wanted, by the way, to get my favorite software that I use, well, I have two favorites, AstroGold and SolarFire. But if you ever wanted to get SolarFire, I'll include a link or my code here, Woods15 will get you 15% off if you're ever interested in that. But I love SolarFire because I can pull up the cyclocartography or the transits and the moving lines, the moving transits of progressions on the map. And I can see what is happening in a part of the world using cyclocartography. And so I use SolarFire for this, and I'll include that code here for you. I also use Astro Gold for zodiac releasing and transit work. Now, The thing I've learned is that people tend to live in places because they're meant to live there, because there's a story in that part of the world and there's something that they're meant to gain. Personally, as a Stoic, I love Stoic philosophy. I love the idea of amor fati, love your fate, make peace with your fate. This is something that, on a personal level, this is something I really believe in. I believe in, approaching life from a Stoic lens and perspective. And the thing about fate and place is that you're going to go to certain places because you're meant to be there, because there's a storyline there for you to unlock, and you're going to go there at some point. Now, I'll give you some examples. Let's say someone has their successful career line in a part of the world, and they don't live in that part of the world. It's really far away from them. But they have a transit that's going over that part of the world at a specific time in life, and they get an opportunity that unlocks for them a storyline that opens up for them in that part of the world. I remember this so vividly. Hey, Juanita. I remember this story so vividly. I had a client who was an artist, and she had her Jupiter midheaven line in Stockholm, Sweden. And when the North Node was transiting over her Jupiter, meaning the North Node MC line was moving over her Jupiter MC line, she had an opportunity for a gallery. She had a gallery opening for her art, and she won an award. And it was fascinating to see, like, yeah, you don't live in Stockholm, Sweden, but you've got a career success line in Stockholm, Sweden. And you, during that time when the opportunity unlocked for you, the North Node was on the MC on Jupiter, exactly in that location. So it's the opening. It's like a little present, a little gift box. You always have, it's like, in my head, I think of the gift emoji, the little present emoji. I think there's like these little presents all over the world. And at certain times in life, that present is going to open. That little box, that gift box, is going to open up and show something. This is the power of astrocartography. This is the power of adding time and place. And you don't have to live in a part of the world. You can get a phone call. You can collaborate with someone that's in a certain part of the world. I just had this today. I just looked at the composite chart for this person that I just had a collaboration with. I noticed where she was living in the world, the transits that's going on with that. And I was like, of course, of course. It's all in the composite chart, the transits to our composite chart. We have Chiron, and Venus is going right over our Chiron in that part of the world. And I was just like, this is fascinating. So collaborations, connections, people reaching out to people. As an example, I notice every time my husband has a phone call with his family or his parents, the moon's transiting through his fourth house right on his IC. I've tracked the data. I've noticed, isn't it interesting that this always happens with these correlations, the transits, the progressions to a chart? And so you could do this to a relocation chart as well. You can add the transits and progressions to a relocation chart. So can you live in the wrong place? No, I don't believe that. I don't believe there's anything to be nervous about with astrocartography. I don't believe there's anything that you need to worry about with astrology or astrocartography, or am I living in the wrong place? No, you're in the right place. You're there because you're meant to be there. There's a story there for you. You wouldn't have moved there or had the opportunity to live there if you weren't meant to be there. So you can surrender. You can let go. You can trust your timing. You can trust your fate. Amor fati. You can allow what is there to be there. You don't have to worry. And when you go into readings with an astrocartographer, with me, you never have to be nervous. You can't mess this up. You're not in the wrong place. You're fine. Now, I do want to talk about, can you enhance your life? Can you support your life? Can you make things even better? Yeah, you can. So I want to show you, let me see if I can share my entire screen with you here. See if I can show, can you guys see my chart here? Can you guys see this chart that I've pulled up? I'm actually going to go on to YouTube just to make sure that this is working right. Let me know if you guys can see this chart here that I just pulled up. Okay, let's see. 1 second. Let me just figure this out. And we'll continue with the example. Yes. Okay, perfect. It works. Amazing. So, okay, I can see you guys in the chat here. The bottom is cut off. Oh, weird. I can see it on my end. Okay, so Here's an example of a chart. So let's just say, actually, let me do favorites. I could just do, I just cleaned out my Astro Gold. I'll just give you some examples here. I want you to see how this works. Okay, so check this out. So we've added the parents here on the line section. Made sure to click on parents because those are very important. And we're going to pull on this little dropper tool for location, and we're going to click on this little circle on the top right corner. So I want you to see this story here. Can we make our lives better? Yes, I believe that. 100%. I've lived this. I've experienced this. I've seen how my clients' lives change with this. So I want you to see how the moon is on the midheaven here in Southern California. This is the story of career prominence, right? Moon and Leo performing arts, entertainment, right on the midheaven. Career visibility can be success. Now, I want you to see how things change when we come over here. So do you see how, why did this get smaller? Do you see how the story shifts when we come out to New York? Do you see how Mercury and Venus relocate to the descendant in the seventh house of relationships and partnerships? This is a part of the world where relationships will become more important. But look at this. Chiron is in the 10th house. There can be a sense of shyness, introversion, or feeling a little bit unseen, needing healing or desiring healing about your reputation, your public image, your achievements, what you're known for. This was a hard part of the world for me for career matters, but it was an important part of the world for me for dating and relationships and meeting my husband and my connections, my friends. But that Chiron in the 10th, plus the sun in the 6th house, the ruler of the chart being Jupiter in the 12th, this was a place where I felt largely unseen, where I felt like no matter how hard I worked, I wasn't getting traction, movement, visibility, or attention for all the hard work. Now, I want to show you how I relocate to France. And look at this. We get the midheaven in the 10th house of Sagittarius. And we also get the ruler of the 10th house of career, Jupiter, in the ninth house of astrology, travel, astrocartography, like the perfect example of like midheaven in Sagittarius, being known for traveling and teaching. Pisces in the first house, ruler is Jupiter. Jupiter rules over Pisces traditionally, and Jupiter's in the ninth house of astrology, teaching, publishing, and travel related careers. And also, Jupiter's the ruler of my career. We also have Uranus and Neptune in the 11th house of social media, the following, and everything grew for me when I moved out to France. Do you see how much of the story changes? Mars, action, drive, moves to the second house of income. The sun relocates to the third house of communication, short form writing, and showing up consistently, every day. Like it's your daily, third house is your daily writing and communication. And then Venus and Mercury relocate to the fourth house of loving where you live, working from home, right? Being a communicator and working from my house and speaking online from my house. Like this story is so clear and evident. And this is what happens when you move to places that better support you. Does this mean that you need to move? Does this mean that you have to move, or that if you don't, you're in the wrong place? Absolutely not. You are perfectly fine. If you feel called to live somewhere, it's because you're meant to live there. If there's an opportunity or something happening in your life and you're there for a reason, there's a reason you're there. However, your life can shift dramatically. A storyline unlocks for you when you move, when you spend time in different parts of the world. As another example, when I went to Australia on my Sun midheaven line, within 24 hours, I received word from via email from Business Insider wanting to feature me about astrocartography, publicity. The Sun midheaven line is about publicity. And within 24 hours of landing in Sydney, Australia, Uranus was exactly on my Sun by degree, the Sun on the midheaven line in Australia. And I had opportunities. The next day I heard from the Times wanting to feature me for astrocartography. 48 hours, 2 opportunities came out of nowhere on the Sun midheaven line. Isn't that weird? Isn't that wild? Not to mention the South Node was on the midheaven in Australia. I was so apathetic to all things career. I didn't want to show up. I took a week off social media. There was no plan to do that. The South Node, drain, apathy, tiredness, something that you don't really care about, something that you're not really focused on. It was on my midheaven. The interest in showing up online was not there. I didn't really care about my career. I was focused on other things. You can unlock a story as soon as you move to a part of the world. But if we want to activate this and get further precision on this, we add in the transits and the progressions, the cyclocartography to our maps, to our relocated charts. This is the powerful work of astrocartography. No, you can't get this life wrong, but you can be in places that better support you, that enhance you, that give you opportunities, that support you in your goals and your intentions and help you thrive and shine in life in whatever your goals are. Now, all of this to say, the most important time of the entire year is now happening. The Locational Astrology Certification Program is now open. This is my biggest course of the entire year. I only open the doors once a year. There are 12 live class calls with me, 9 live classes, plus 3 office hour calls, Q&As, where you can get your questions answered, come up in the hot seat, and interactive class with me. I really encourage you to check out my website at helenawoods.com/certification and check out the testimonials from all of my students. It is unreal how this program has changed so many lives. My students, my readers, they are either working part-time or full-time doing astrology. Many of them have astrocartography as a part-time side hustle. They can afford to go on that family trip to Disney World or that extra vacation for their family because they have made the money back through offering astrocartography readings. These are the dates of our live class calls together. So here are the dates. We have our first live class call on October 11th, 9 p.m. Paris time, always on the weekends, Saturday or Sunday, mainly Saturday, but I always use astrology to pick the best dates for classes. And this is an incredible opportunity for you to master this skill: relocation charts, timing your travels, cyclocartography, and also astrocartography and birth charts and relocation chart synthesis. Not to mention, there is a whole section of the course that is all on business and earning money as an astrologer, becoming a successful entrepreneur in astrology. Now, if you do want to check out the certification, I'll include the link down below. Pricing is the early bird discount right now. The price will be going up significantly on September 12th. And there is a payment plan where you can get this for 6 months for $433. One of the best benefits of the relocation astrology certification is that there is the relocation astrologer Rolodex, which once you pass level 1 of the course, which is a multiple choice exam, an extensive, thorough, comprehensive multiple choice exam online, once you pass, you can then do level 2, which is essentially doing 3 practice readings. You submit your portfolio to me with your written analysis of your 3 practice readings. I or my teaching assistant will go over it. And if you pass that, you get access to the Relocation Astrologer Rolodex. So you can start booking your dream clients. Just like how I have my directory, the Rolodex will be opening May of 2026. So this is an amazing opportunity for you not only to learn this, but also become certified, thoroughly tested, have me look at your portfolio or my teaching assistant, and start being able to make that money back upon getting certified. So this program only opens up once a year. I did want to let you know because this is such a big deal. Doors will close September 18th until at least a full another year. I do think I don't want to get too into the details of that, but this is really the first time in a long time that I'm going to be offering this. So I did want to come on and just let you know about this because, um, oops. I did just want to come on and let you know about this because it's my biggest program of the year. It's live. Once doors close, doors do not open for at least another full year, another 12 months. And the plan will be to reopen it in the fall of 2026. But honestly, looking at my chart and my transits, the eclipse on August 12th of 2026, how do I say this? I think my life's going to change, or something's going to happen in my career that's going to completely change. Jupiter's transiting my 12th. The moon is activated as my time lord using annual perfections. There's going to be an eclipse exactly by a degree on my midheaven in the 10th house. Jupiter will be on my moon, which rules my 9th house of astrology. Like, I don't know what I'm doing at that point, but I think it's going to be huge. And if it's not something huge and groundbreaking. It could be a pivot. I don't know. I really honor my intuition, and I let my intuition guide me in all of my undertakings and my decisions. And I really trust myself. And so I don't know what's happening August 12th of 2026, around the time when I would be reopening the certification, but I just have a feeling, an inkling, like I'm going to be very busy doing something else. So if you do want to learn this, is this appropriate for beginners? Now, here's the thing. Here's some great questions. Feel free to ask all your questions in the chat box, and I'll answer all of them today. Is this for beginners? I teach all of the beginner basics, module 1, 2, and 3. So if you don't know what the houses are, if you don't know what the planets are, if you don't know what the zodiac signs are, I teach everything, the beginner basics in this course. However, here's the thing. You have 1 year to get certified. In other words, if you're brand spanking new and you don't know what Taurus represents, like that beginner, I don't know if you're going to feel confident and ready to pass the test assessment within 1 year's time. If you are brand new and you don't know anything about astrology, instead, I recommend the Relocation Astrology course, which I'll include a link here if you want to sign up for that. There is no deadline with that. So there's no deadline with the Relocation Astrology course. And here's the thing, the content is exactly the same, except there's no business modules, there's no test assessment, there's no quizzes, and there's no live classes with me. That is the only difference. So what I recommend, Siobhan, is take that Relocation Astrology course, which is self-paced. It's the flagship offering. It's significantly less money than the certification, but there's no live classes. And you can learn this forever. You can take that course, you'll have lifetime access, no expiration date, and all the content's the same in there. So if you're brand new, basic level understanding, then I recommend the Relocation Astrology course. And you can always upgrade into the certification, which is the only live program I offer. You can always upgrade later on when I offer it again. And what's really cool about the Relocation Astrology course, if you enroll in that course, you get a unique coupon code where you subtract the amount that you paid for the Relocation Astrology course, which is $597. You subtract that from the certification. So I'll give you an example. My students that signed up for Relocation Astrology course earlier this year, they got $597 off the certification, and all they did was paid the difference to upgrade. So what I recommend if you're brand new is take the Relocation Astrology course, take your time with the material for a full year. And then the next time I open this course, you'll have that unique code and you just upgrade into the live course, which is way more intensive, deep dive, live test assessment. You know, if you're a typical Virgo or Capricorn or ninth house stellium, you might like the quizzes, the test assessment, the evidence portfolio. You might really like that because it gives you that feeling of, I did it. I know what I'm doing. I'm not a fraud. I don't have imposter syndrome because I just did this thorough test and Helena passed me. So that's what's really cool about the certification is that kind of next level. And you get calls with me all year. There's like 12 calls with me throughout the year, which is incredible. So if you want to sign up for the certification, which is different because it's live with me for a full year, it's the lowest price it's going to be now. And I'll put the link here, helenawoods.com/certification. Let me see if there's any more questions here. I want to sign up for sure. Yeah, you could sign up until September 12th. Just know, Jennifer, the price goes up significantly by like $500 or $600 on the 12th. The certification is 1 year program. It's a 1 year program. Is it just the modules or can we directly ask you questions during the course? You can ask me questions during the course, of course. So the modules are self-paced and then we have live classes together. And so I have a Google form set up where you can ask me all your questions and I'm going to answer them in the live class calls together. And you can always, of course, as a student, you can email me at any time and I will answer all your questions for you. We also have a Facebook group, a very active Facebook group with 300 people who are very active in answering questions. There's the peer support in my community The energy in my community is so giving and generous. People love to help each other. There's meetups. I have one my TA, my teaching assistant, Amanda. She's doing live meetups, astrocartography meetups all over the US. I'm going to be doing meetups when I come out to the US in Florida and California this fall. But like the Facebook group is such an incredible way to practice doing chart readings with each other, ask questions about your chart and get feedback, and also find your people to swap readings with so that you can fill out that evidence portfolio so you can get tested. Is there a code to apply for the upgrade? Jennifer, you have the code. If you're in relocation astrology course, if you're in the relocation astrology course, the code is in the modules. Go check it out. It's there. It's listed in one of the first modules there. Can't wait for the meetup. Me too. Awesome. So Jennifer, if you are in relocation astrology course, go check in your profile on Podia, which is where I house all of my course platforms. Highly recommend, by the way, if you're ever interested in making courses or classes or teaching. I love Podia. It's very affordable. It's amazing. But in the resources module, thanks, honey. My husband is here, Alex. But go into the module with that code and you enter in that code at checkout and you get $597 off, which is incredible. So I'm a Virgo and I do need a reading very soon. Big life changes for sure. Oh yeah. Are you a Virgo rising? Very curious. Virgo risings are a lot of changes going on with Virgo risings. Amazing. Any other questions about the locational astrology certification program? This is the only live program with me. So if you want to learn this with me for a full year, interactive class calls, you can ask your questions. I'm here to support you. And what's really great is, one of the questions I asked on my Instagram stories yesterday, I asked, like, do you prefer live class calls or do you prefer pre-recorded video modules? And it's pretty split. I would say people most of the time like live class calls more. But what's amazing about this program is you get both. You get dozens of hours of pre-recorded video modules, workbooks, organized, beautifully created slides and presentations with examples, so many examples. And in addition, you get the live class calls with me over Zoom, where you can come up in the hot seat, ask your question. I can pull up your chart. It's really fun. Amazing. All right. Any other questions about the certification program? I just wanted to pop on, say hello, share with you. See above, please, regarding the non-live course. Let's see, Hope. Can you take the relocation astrology course using an iPad and not a computer? Absolutely. Yeah. So you can get whatever software you want. In the relocation astrology course, you don't need to get a professional software. You can use AstroSeek. You can use astro.com. You can use whatever platform you'd like. And I share tutorials in relocation astrology course with tutorials on how to use those platforms and how to use that free software online. And I'm not sure, but I believe Astro Gold you can use on an iPad. Before purchasing any software, just email Esoteric Technologies and just ask them before purchasing. And just to let you know, if you ever end up wanting to get my softwares that I use Astro Gold for my Mac. And my code for that is Helena15. That's what I recommend. So Helena15, use that code and you'll get 15% off Astro Gold, which I use for both my phone and my MacBook. And let me actually show you here my MacBook Pro. So I use Astro Gold. So you can see here's like a relocated chart. And you can see how as we travel, the relocate chart shifts. So you can see we do boop and here. See? Isn't that really cool? You can see how the relocation chart moves and shifts as you're going to different parts of the world. It's really incredible. And the parents are there. There's a measurement tool, timing. Laptops are generally best for both the software and for Podia. You can see some videos on Podia in my course on the iPad too. You're such a boss, babe. I love it. I'm not a boss, babe, actually. I really don't. I'm actually, like, if you knew me in my day-to-day life, I'm really like go with the flow. People are always surprised when they meet me, like my friends, when they watch me on social media and then they meet me in person, they're like, you're so soft. Like, you don't get that on social media. But yeah, Woods 15 for Solar Fire if you want to use this for PC. So if you want to use PC, use Solar Fire. Woods 15 will get you 15% off. If you want to use Mac, if you have a Mac computer, use Astro Gold. and Helena 15 will get you 15% off. Any other questions? I'm really excited, guys. I want to let you know a little personal update. I'm going to Tony Robbins. I'm not into large crowds or like super aggressive, high energy events. Like, I'm definitely more of a loner type and I like quiet in my day-to-day life. I like to be alone for 70% of my day. I'm absolutely an introvert, even though I seem like I'm not. Um, but I'm going to Tony Robbins because when I was in Japan, I got an ad from him on my Instagram, Tony Robbins. And I noticed that where the event is taking place in Germany, I have 3 Pluto moon parents. And Pluto moon is so intense emotionally, but it's also release and like stepping into personal power. And I was like, if this is the most perfect storyline for going to a Tony Robbins event, like, duh, of course we're gonna go to a 3 Pluto moon parents where the Tony Robbins event is. And it's gonna be during the eclipse, and the eclipse is hitting my Saturn, and it's gonna be on the 12th, 5th house axis, which is about like your relationship to creative expression and how you express yourself, along with the meeting of community and like how you express yourself to others in community and the receiving that community gives you for expressing yourself. So I was like, I wasn't sure if I should go to Tony Robbins, but then I saw the astrocartography lines and then I saw the timing of the event and how it was impacting my chart. And I was like, oh, yeah, this is 100% hell yes, based on this information provided. Where do I start learning astrology? I want to take the astrocartography, but need to start with the basics first. So, GeoJorn, you're not going to believe this, but my relocation astrology course has modules on the basics of astrology, how to read a birth chart, the beginner basics of the zodiac signs, the houses in a chart, aspects, how to understand planetary condition, the zodiac signs, the planets. Everything about beginner basics is taught in module 2 for the certification and relocation astrology course. But if you're a beginner, I recommend relocation astrology course instead because there's no time limit. With the certification, you have a 1-year time limit to pass. So if you're brand new, I say get into the relocation astrology course. I'll include the link right here, Geo or John. For Geo or John, I recommend taking relocation astrology course first. And then after a year of the pre-recorded modules, practicing with birth charts, going through the modules, the workbooks, the beginner basic workbooks that I give you, all of the tools, resources, examples, you can then upgrade into the certification when I open it a year later. And you can always use that, the amount that you paid for the relocation astrology course, you'll just subtract that from the certification. So you get $600 off when we run it live again. I really need a very good astrocartography reading. How long is the time on your waitlist? Well, get this, Hope. I've got a resource for you. I'm always, as a 3-5 MG, I'm always in problem solver mode, always here to provide resources and support to people who, I'm happy to solve people's problems. And oh, wait, I did it wrong. Hold on, Hope. Hold on. Did the wrong thing. The directory, Hope. The relocation astrologer directory. These are my certified trained readers. You can book a reading with someone as soon as possible, literally tonight. You can book a call with my trained, certified, thoroughly tested students from the certification program. And you could book a reading tonight and see them tomorrow. This is why I created this resource. It's because my wait list is too damn long and I feel immense guilt for making people wait so long. And I thought there's got to be a way to help support people with astrocartography from skilled, excellent astrocartographers that know what they're doing, that use parents, that use relocated charts, that use timing, that look at local space, that look at the planetary condition of your planets in your birth chart. There's got to be a way where I can support more people in the world with finding astrocartography, because I'm on a mission to spread the information to everyone on the planet who wants to know about it, but I can't support everyone in a one-on-one way anymore, unfortunately, as much as I want to, as much as my sun in the 7th house wants to connect with people one-on-one all day long, I just can't anymore. And so because of this, I created the directory as a way to solve that problem. So I did it last week. It was amazing. I love hearing that. I love it. That makes me so damn happy. Thank you for sharing that. Amazing. Any other ways I can support you today, my friends? Anything? Any questions about astrocartography, astrology, birth chart synthesis? Any questions about the certification program? I'm feeling called to book with Paige Otis. I think she moved locally to where I live as well. I need to reach out to her. I saw the podcast with her last week. Paige is amazing. She's incredible. She's a kindred spirit. If you ever wanted to book a reader with someone who is so kind and generous and literally like a Disney princess in real life, Paige Otis. She is a kindred spirit of mine. I just love her so much. I know about the directory, says Hope. I was just wondering how long the wait list for a reading with you is. So here's the thing, Hope. I'm not opening readings till 26. I am going to be opening up some spots, but only for those that are in my membership community, Cosmic Compass. So for readings with me, the best way to like get first dibs, first dibs, first dibs with me on booking a session with me is it's my membership. Like this is where I'm going to be announcing it. And so what I recommend is if you want to join my monthly membership where we do 3 to 4 live calls, well 2 calls and then we have bonus calls. I teach astrology in this membership. We go over the day by day forecast on how you can best use the energy every single month. My monthly live membership program, so many perks. There's so much in there. Telegram, I go into Telegram, I drop things, astrology updates that people can use the astrology in an effective way. Juanita said the membership's amazing. Thank you, Juanita. I love the membership so much. And so my members in my membership get first priority with me. So when I do, open up readings, which I will in the fall, they will take those spots. And then in 2026, at some point, I will open up readings. Yeah. The membership is so worth it. I love our calls. Oh, Jennifer, thank you. I close the membership doors. I only open up doors a few times a year for the membership. I like to keep it an intimate space so I can really get to know the people that are in that cohort. And then we open up the doors to the membership a couple of times a year. So I may open up the doors to the membership in the fall or the winter, but we'll see. I have a new course that I'm planning, a brand new idea that I got a couple months ago, and I'm starting to put it together now. Amazing. All right, guys. Well, I hope this supported you. Remember, you're never in the wrong place. You can never live in the wrong place. You're always exactly perfectly in the right place for you at that moment. Can you be in places that better support you, that enhance your life in different ways, depending on what you're looking for? 100%. Absolutely. My life has changed because of astrocartography. I feel the energy of these lines immediately when I land, when I arrive to that location. The story of that place unlocks. It's all there. If you want something in your life, you can go to these places to support it, to activate it, to enhance it in your life, to bring about that story, and make it louder. But do you need to move? You don't need to move unless you want to move. And if you want to move, it's going to be in the transits, it's going to be in your chart, and you're going to go where you're meant to go. Now, can we learn this tool and technique to be in the best possible magical places at the best possible times and like accelerate our life a little bit? Yeah, totally. And I've lived this. I've been doing this for a long time, living this work, traveling, using my transits and progressions to be in the right places. But you don't have to worry. You don't have to be nervous. When you go into a reading, when you look at your astrocartography map, you don't have to worry about any of it. When you follow the call of your intuition, you're where you're meant to be. Amor fati, love your fate. Geo Jorn, I'm in a super transitional space and need direction. I hope I can find it in this course. Geo Jorn, I recommend booking a reading with a reader instead of the course. If you're looking for, if you really need some life direction and very clear direction very quickly in a 1-hour call, that's where I recommend getting a reading. You can learn these skills in the course and you can, learn about your chart and all of that. But I think if you're in a place where you really need some emotional support and you need some quick answers on what to do, I would instead book with a reader because the course is a 1-year program. It's going to take time for you to learn all of this material. It's a skill you're building. The relocation astrology course, you can join in live. Are the calls recorded for us? Absolutely. Of course. Of course. All of my class calls, all of my live calls are always recorded and available for replay. And you get lifetime access to all of the recordings, video modules, pre-recorded modules, and the live class calls. There are no expiration dates on this. So it's an epic course. It's so generous. That's something that my students always say is, one, I over deliver and I'm extremely generous. So yeah, you can sign up there. For a reading, I send you the recording, or whoever you book with will send you a recording for you to download. And then when you download it, you have it forever. It's also good to get an objective perspective, 100%, yeah. Do you have to have a place in mind for a reading, or will they guide us to the best places if we don't know? Both, it depends. I always like to go into my sessions just asking the question of, like, what do you wanna call in your life? What's important to you right now? What is an area of life that you wanna accelerate or bring about in your life? Are there any places that you're called to right now? We can look in those places, but when I have readings, I always pull up places that are most supportive for the person, especially if someone doesn't know where to go. I will find those places and I'll pick the best places for the right timing, especially if someone wants to move within a certain time period. I will add the timing in just to see, like, which of these options is going to be the best in the short to long term future. Amazing, guys. If you want to book a reading, check out the directory. My certification course is live and open. Doors close September 18th and September 12th. The price will go up significantly. So if you want to lock in this early bird price, definitely save your seat now. 6-month payment plan made it easy, accessible for you guys if you want to join in. And I'm going to be doing a live free masterclass grid activation on September 7th, the day of the eclipse. I'm about to post it on email and Instagram and all the places. So if you're following me over on Instagram, stay tuned. I'm about to post about it on stories. And September 7th, save the date, live class, grid activation. It's going to be epic. A lot of prizes, giveaways, cool things. So I'll see you there. If your intuition feels it's a fit, have a magical day and happy eclipse. Bye. Bye, friends.